Mm. Hello and welcome to the Science Fiction Double Feature Podcast, podcast number 54. If you could read my podcast, what a tale my thoughts would tell. Hello, yes. This is my co-host Terry. Say hello, Terry.
Hello, Terry. What was that from?
That was from the Opus, the fantastic movie 54. Have you never seen or heard of the movie 54?
I don't think so.
Okay, they did some band Stars on 54. No, they weren't called Stars on 54. That was someone else. Did a cover of that song for that movie, and it was like when we were 12 or 14ish. Came out this movie about a club, and Ryan Philippe was in it, and Mike Myers played the club owner. Yeah, it was.
No, I don't know that.
Okay. It's kind of cheesy and bad in that sort of very early 2000s, late 90s way. It was quite a big deal at the time. Anyway, yes, that's 54. How are you anyway?
Yeah, pretty good. It's fairly cold here this morning.
Is it? It's cold here, but it's cold here all the time because New
Yeah, well,
Zealand is just the
that's
middle
New
of the
Zealand.
ocean, so it's fairly normal.
Mm.
All right. Okay. What we normally do when we're not talking about the weather is we talk about movies. We talk about movie news, movie trailers, movies that we've seen, and movies that are coming out. So, do you have some news, Terry?
I do have some news, some pretty exciting news. Um, New York Comic Con was held last week, and among the other panels, they had an Iron Fist panel. Marvel had an Iron Fist panel, and they brought out the rest of the Defenders. So Jessica Jones and Daredevil and Luke Cage. The guys who play them all came out on stage. They're like, here, we got something else for you. We're going to bring out the villain. And it was clear these guys had no clue who the villain was going to be. It was pretty funny to watch the video. And it is Sigourney. I knew I stuffed that up. Sigourney Weaver.
There you
Yay!
go. Hey,
Yay!
Jordan
Um,
Weaver.
yeah, so I think that's pretty exciting that they're getting her to be like the villain for the Defenders series. Um, it sounds very exciting. Are you excited, Tim?
I
Because
am. Do you think
you've been mixed on these Netflix series. I don't know what you think of Luke Cage yet, but
it's pretty good? I like the
yeah.
funk. It brings the funk. I
Ooh,
like Daredevil a lot, and
yeah.
I like Luke Cage pretty much, and I didn't finish Jessica Jones, so it's 2 for 3.
Mm.
So, they're pretty good overall. I like Sigourney Weaver. I want to know if she's going to authorize the moose again, because that was pretty impressive when she did that in Chappie. Um, yeah, I don't know. We got to find out. I like Sigourney Weaver. I think she can be a good villain, as we saw in. Can we spoil that movie? We may as well. Cabin in the Woods, and to a lesser extent in
Oh yeah.
Paul. So yeah, I think she'll be good. I don't know who she's playing. My guess is the iconic Marvel hero Doctor Octopus, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. The iconic Marvel villain Doctor Octopus, but I guess we'll have
Mm.
to see. Wait and see.
Yeah, that's gonna be very fun. I think she's a
Yeah.
great actress.
Yeah.
And some other news. Well, I'll keep it Disney. Um, Disney have announced they're doing a live action Aladdin movie, and they're going to get Guy Ritchie to direct it. What the fuck? I was thinking, should I swear? I'm going to do it. What the fuck?
Okay.
He's got a very specific style that he likes using, and I don't know if it would have been my first choice for Aladdin, but I think it's going to be pretty interesting to say the least. So I'm on board. I like Guy Ritchie films. So yeah, Guy Ritchie doing an Aladdin Disney film. It
It
takes
kind
some
of fits because I guess Aladdin is kind of this roguish, lovable criminal to begin with, and then
yeah.
it can go from there. I guess I don't know. I wonder who's going to be the cast. Are we going to see Jason Statham as Aladdin and Dexter Fletcher as Abu and Vinnie Jones as Jasmine and Jared Harris as the genie? Who knows? Oh, I think this is going to be amazing. I hope it is Cockney. Don't get your knickers in a twist, Abu. We just go down and see the Sultan.
Oh, that would be
Yeah,
terrible.
that would be
Oh,
amazing.
oh, you made me want to throw up in my mouth.
Ah, good, good. Imagine Cockney Aladdin. We go down. Oh dear.
Yeah, so that's my
new motor. Yeah.
one of the things they've said is they don't know what they're going to do with the genie yet because Robin Williams is so synonymous with the genie. They don't want to try and replicate that with someone else, but stray too far from it. So I think they're still a little bit confused how they're gonna handle the genie. Oh, and
Jason Statham as the genie. Vinnie Jones as the genie. That would be good.
In other Aladdin news,
yes,
I went and saw the musical. I don't know if
oh yeah, you did.
Did I talk about this last week? I can't remember.
No.
I went and saw Aladdin the musical on stage. It sucks. It sucks big time. They put in so much extra original songs and original story that it takes so long for them to even get to the Cave of Wonder, and like it just drags it out and makes it so dull. Like
Well,
they
how do they handle the genie in that? Is I guess a relevant question. Because it
pretty
should have the same
similar.
issue.
It was pretty similar to Robin Williams, a very flamboyant, eccentric pop culture. But yeah, with all the dialogue and all that. He was very similar, I would say. He was going for a Robin Williams. He looked like a guy from my work, so that was hilarious. Because I went in and said, I now know why you haven't sent me Friday and Saturdays off work.
Because you've been busy playing the genie.
That's right. He said he did. Aladdin. He said he didn't want to tell anyone yet. He wasn't sure if he had the part. So yeah, it was pretty bad. It took him like the first half finished with them in the Cave of Wonder. So
that's pretty bad.
And then they had to try and jam in everything in the last half.
Okay.
So you had pretty much you had no interactions with Jafar being all evil and stuff, and they cut most of the ending.
Who's going to play Iago?
Well, they just had a guy with a Gilbert Godfrey face in the musical, a very short guy who parroted a lot. Haha.
Hey.
Yeah. Well, that was their joke.
Lord. Oy.
Yes.
Who's Guy Ritchie going to get to play Iago, do you think? Will it be Brad Pitt?
I really hope they do get Gilbert Godfrey. No, I said that wrong.
Gilbert Godfrey.
Gilbert Godfrey. It does when you got a blocked nose.
Yeah. He's pretty. I don't want to watch Gilbert Godfrey again. Maybe I hope maybe it is like Cockney Aladdin. Oh my god. No, Cockney Aladdin. I'm tired of talking about it. Do you think Aladdin will have nips? That's the big question here.
He did in the musical. He did have
nips. Hey, there you go. That's groundbreaking. Nips in a Disney movie. All right. Okay. All right. Shall we move on?
Little Jasmine.
To less exciting news. All right. Okay. Helen Mirren, to great fanfare from me, was announced as being in Fast and Furious 8, whatever it's actually called. I think it's called Fast 8. I don't know how these movie titles work. Which sounds amazing. Helen Mirren in a driving racing movie. That sounds pretty fun. A lot more interesting than the last one, which was kind of just two bald men running into things. And Jimon Hunsu being Jimon Hunsu. Unfortunately, she apparently doesn't drive. So what is the point of this movie? What is the point of a Fast and Furious movie where Helen Mirren doesn't drive? I'm done. Goodbye, Fast and Furious. I'm hanging out for Hot Wheels now. Bye.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that sucks. That's terrible news. What is the point of that?
She does say she ends up in the back of an ambulance with Jason Statham. So they could be getting it on. It could be like a sexy moment.
Still.
There could be a raft in the back while they're making out.
Yeah, I don't want that. Yes, Fast and Furious 8 featuring a throwback reference to Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That's it exactly. Mike Tobacco is Helen Mirren. No! Okay, so yes, that's Fast and Furious 8 news. I'm probably not going to see it on the simple basis of that. Okay, all right. Did you have anything to say about that, apart from the fact that it sounds stupid?
No, I agree.
Okay.
I don't want to see this now. There's not an old lady driving very fast.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Moving on then. You may be aware of an Eddie Redmayne Harry Potter movie coming out called Doctor Who and the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. That movie hasn't been released, and yet they're going to make 5 of them. I don't know why. I don't. I just. It's why. It's so much planning. That's a lot of movie. That's 5 movies when we don't know anything about this really. We've seen some trailers. We know it's all New York in the 20s. I don't think Newt Scamander, is that his name? Newt Scamander? No,
Sure.
Eddie Redmayne, Eddie. We don't know anything about this character or what this movie's like at all, and yet they're planning 5. I don't know why. It's very premature, and I, for one, I just want to see the first one and be good. I don't really need to see any more. I don't know. I've thought it's looked pretty good, but yeah, I don't want to see 5 of it. Do you want to
I've
see them
seen,
launch a
I've,
giant beast epic?
I've seen 5 Eddie Redmayne movies, I'd say by now, and
Okay.
that's enough because I don't want.
How many have
Um,
I seen? I've seen at least 2. I can only think of 2.
I've seen. Well, there was Jupiter Ascending,
Yeah.
Danish Girl.
Yeah. Have you seen Les Mis?
I've seen Les Mis.
There you go. There's 3.
All right, I might have seen 3, but that's
Oh, have you
enough.
seen the Theory of Everything? I've seen 3.
I have 4.
There you go. There's 4.
4.
Okay. I
That's
don't know what
about
else is. Yeah, I can do 3, and you can do 4 because I
it.
haven't seen the Danish Girl.
Don't,
Sorry.
don't bother.
Okay, I won't.
It's pretty
All right.
sucky. Yeah, so I understand. I kind of understand why they're planning this. I don't understand why they released the information to the public. Because Harry Potter's got the built-in audience, and I think as long as you do it in the same vein as the first movies, you're gonna have the popularity for it. It's still there.
Yeah, but
So I'm thinking of
you
it more
know,
like when they were going to redo Star Wars, they knew what they're planning. They know what they're planning, but they just didn't tell us right away. Um, but I don't know. I reckon they're just basing this on, hey, there's a built-in audience. The first 7 Harry Potters did extremely well. Um, I think a couple of them came close to the $1 billion worldwide box office, if not over. I think the 7th one actually did go over. But yeah, so I can see why they're doing it, but I don't know why they would release the information before the movie even comes out.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna work. Anyway, all right, let's move on from that. We'll wait till Fantastic Beasts and How to Eat Them or whatever it's called comes out, and we can.
I'd watch that movie.
Fantastic Beasts and How to Eat Them. Maybe
Yeah, like a
that's
cooking show.
maybe that's going to be movie 4, and it's like it'll be like the dark one. Well, maybe that'll be movie 3. 3 and 4 will be a 2-parter called Fantastic Beasts and How to Eat Them, where Eddie Redmayne goes off the rails and just starts eating the beasts, and Flapper Lady is all, "Oh, stop eating the beasts!" And he's like, "I ate the beasts," and then yeah, he feels bad, and then there's an action scene. That's what'll happen.
Oh, I would hope Eddie Redmayne's Beast cuisine restaurant is going under, and Gordon Ramsay comes in and helps him fix it up.
I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch Gordon Ramsay. I want to watch a
He's the
Gordon
best.
Ramsay knockoff called.
Gordon Ramsay.
That's it. That's a good wizard name. Borden Bamsey. There we go. All right, let's talk about trailers. Trailers. Okay. Rogue One. We got a Rogue One trailer. It looks amazing. It just looks amazing. It's a very good looking film. Rogue One looks amazing. There's a little bit of detail, mostly stuff we've heard before. We kind of see a scene of Ben Mendelsohn in a different outfit. Going off and recruiting Mads Mikkelsen, who, if you don't know by now, is Jyn Erso's father, Felicity Jones's father. We see
What?
Oh my god! Pay attention, you twit. See some moisture evaporators. There's just a lot of really good visual stuff here. We see some people running around. Donnie Yen and the other guy whose name I can't remember running around. Underneath a walker, there's some cool space scenes. A lot of majestic shots of the Death Star looking huge, which is fantastic. We find out, I don't know if it's kind of got revealed by a toy, but Forrest Whitaker's character has no legs. He's got robot legs. We find them they say the title of the movie, so it's one of those movies where they say the title of the movie. Terry, don't send me gross things when I'm typing.
I couldn't say it over this podcast.
Oh dear. Okay, all right. What was I saying? Yeah. All right, I'm just going to get to the bit where I complain about it because you've ruined my train of thought. It seems to me that the snarky Jyn Erso in the first trailer, the Jyn Erso of this is a rebellion, isn't it? I rebel is less prevalent. There's very much a voiceover where she gives a rousing speech about the rebellion and hope. And I'm kind of wondering if this is the effect that the reshoots and edits have been going for to make Jyn Erso in particular a less sort of cynical hero and more of a traditional character, which wouldn't be as fun to my mind. I like the idea of a sassy person putting together a whatever, blah 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 blah. Who knows? But I mean, maybe it's based on very little actual footage. More so that issue, well, not the issue, but there was this weird moment between the second teaser. There was a TV spot a while back that followed the Comic-Con footage, the celebration footage, where we hear Jyn Erso say, "May the Force be with us" in both of those things, but it's a different take each time, with less snarkiness in the second take. So I'm kind of wondering if there's like a re-edit to remold the character of Jyn Erso to be less snarky and cynical and more of a traditional hero. But I don't know. I'm kind of just speculating. What do you think of Rogue One?
Well, just going off your comments there, I want a cynical hero. I love
Yeah,
the
so do
cynical
I.
ones.
So do I. I want it for, well, no, they're quite common, but not so much in Star Wars. I mean, Han Solo is probably the closest we've got, and he's just kind of a doof. He's not a properly. It's a different way to take Star Wars, and I want I want the Star Wars stories to take a risk, to be different. So, but we'll see. Like, it might be. That's kind of just my reading on the information I have available at the moment, which is nowhere near the entirety of the film. So we still have to see. And I'm still excited because I like the cast.
Well,
And it looks really good.
it does look very good because I've been very skeptical about Rogue One, mainly because of Gareth Edwards. But everything I see is just looking so good, and I don't want to set myself up for a Godzilla again. Because that trailer looks fantastic. He makes good trailers. Yes, the visuals in this are stunning. The cinematography in that. We see him flying through in their space battle towards the end of the trailer. That looks so good, and I'm really excited to see it. But I'm still very skeptical that I'm going to be let down again like I was with Godzilla. Because I think that's what his style is.
I don't think his style isn't
to let me down. Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. His style is he's built a career out of kill Bryan Cranston early and then don't show much Godzilla.
That's it. That's the whole thing. Hey, there's going to be a Godzilla fight. Let's watch the kids watch it on a TV. Yeah, that's not good.
Oh.
So maybe they'll do the same thing. There'll be like a huge battle, like space battle, and they'll just go back to like the base, and you can just watch it on the hologram.
I'd watch that. I'd watch.
No.
Mon Mothma paying attention.
Oh, I want to see the battle.
No, you get to watch Mon Mothma watching it and looking downcast. That's what you get. I don't know if that's true. All right, shall we move on?
Yeah.
Okay. Just released this morning, I think. The White King is a movie I've never heard of, but it's It's another teen dystopia, except it's British, so it's a lot more depressing than they usually are. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here, but it seems like there was an apocalypse, and now there's a sort of semi-fascist society with a bunch of symbols and posters, and there's a freckly boy who lives there, and Jonathan Price is in it. And I don't know, it's very, very striking. I'm not quite sure what's going on here, but it's very striking and intriguing. It looks very moody, and no one's having a fun time. There's a bunch of cool statues around the place, just rising up out of the ground. They're enormous. There's a woman giving a speech about the functioning of society. It's kind of very impressionistic, and it looks very tense and awful and scary. And Jonathan Price is in it. And Greta Scacchi is in it as well. Australian actress Greta Scacchi is in it at one point. I noticed in the trailer, in the credits, but I don't know who she plays. Yeah, I haven't had time to digest this. I'm guessing you haven't either, but it looks good. Whatever it may
Good.
be. Did you think it looked good?
It looks very good, very tense, very suspenseful. Lots of thriller aspects that I love. Yeah, it looks very
Probably
good.
find
Lots
out
of
something about it.
brainwashing, a bit of brainwashing going on in there. Kids with guns. That's always a fun time.
Oh, this has been released in the UK. It was released in June, but we're only seeing it now, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hang on.
Do
This
we,
is not.
do
It's
we
not
have it?
British. It just stars.
Is it Australian?
No, it just stars British people. It's oh god, it's from the UK, Germany, Sweden, and Hungary.
It's international.
Yes, it's seems to be based on a novel by. I'm going to read this. Georgi Dragoman, who is my guess is that's a Hungarian name, and directed by Alex Helfrecht and Jörg Tittel, who I mean that sounds like a German and Swedish name to me. Yeah, starring Jonathan Price, Olivia Williams, a Welsh child by the name of Agnes Dane. That's not right. Yeah. Oh, she's from Manchester. Yeah. Yes, The White King. It looks really, really good. It looks really, really interesting, and we'll have to find out what it's like, I think, in the future.
Yeah, there's no release dates for anyone, so
No, I don't believe so. No,
it might just go straight to iTunes or something,
maybe.
or
Who knows?
VOD. VOD. I'll stop branding things.
We'll have to find out. All right, cool. So that's The White King. Do you want to talk about this next one?
All right, go Power Rangers. Power Rangers. We finally got a trailer. They put out 10 zillion posters, and the posters look good, but I was getting sick of them. And I'm like, just give us the damn trailer. So the next day they released the trailer. So you're welcome. Yes, it looks very, very good. They call it a teaser trailer, pretty much just because they tease the suits and they tease the rangering stuff. Because usually teaser trailers, they'll go for about 30 seconds or maybe a minute. This is like 2 minutes 30. So it's like a full trailer instead of just a teaser trailer, but they just tease the Power Ranger stuff. It pretty much just shows us how the group all get together and how they find the things that turn them into the Rangers. So yeah, it looks really, really good. Very Breakfast Clubby, which is probably the main thing everyone seems to be saying about it. It looks good. It looks like the Breakfast Club with superpowers. No, I'm pretty excited. It looks very, very good. I think everyone's quite surprised by how not campy this looks. I'm willing to not see any more trailers just because this is so good, but I want to see if they will show us Bryan Cranston as Zord, or what was his name? The big
Zordon.
float, yeah, Zordon, the big floating head.
Bring me teens with attitude.
Yeah. So yes, Power Rangers. Are you excited by Power Rangers, Tim?
I kind of am. Yeah, it's interesting. They've led with the characters more than
Yeah.
the power ranging. I've heard people say it's dour and dark, but it's not dark in the sense of people looking very grim and serious. It's physically dark. It's quite dark. The lighting isn't particularly good at times.
Yes.
But yeah, and it has those obvious Breakfast Club um,
Sorry, there's a horse in
parallels
here.
to what we see. There's a horse in your house. Okay. Yeah, why did you let him in? Jeez. Is it your dad's? Did your dad bring his horse over?
Yeah, he just rode it into the living room.
I'm on a horse. Yes, getting back to Power Rangers. Yeah, they're sort of leading with the characters, and even though it looks very like earnest and they're taking it all very seriously, there's some banter here and there's some fun stuff here. Yeah, it looks quite good, and yeah, they're leading with characters instead of spectacle, which I think is a really good way to do an ensemble-y thing. Yes, I'm excited for Power Rangers. I'm kind of sold on it. I don't really need to see any Zords or anything further. Kind of want to know if they're gonna like blow up the Sydney Opera House again or whatever they did in the movie.
Well, no, they didn't blow up the Sydney Opera House
Did
because
they?
they didn't show the Sydney Opera House. They just showed
They showed the
like
bridge,
Centrepoint
don't they?
Tower. No, they show Centrepoint Tower.
Oh, is that it? Okay.
Yeah.
And
So that's the
Angel
only. That's the only. Yeah, because they're in the park and you've got Sydney in the background.
Yeah.
So that's the only way you can tell it's actually Sydney.
Okay.
But I understand what people are saying. It's dark. I'd say comparatively, yes, it is.
Yeah,
dark.
compared to the original series, where they kind of there's no bulk and skull in this.
Yeah. Not yet.
Not yet. We haven't seen bulk and skull. I'm happy for bulk and skull to be in it. Did you know the guy that plays Skull is now like a theatre lecturer? He's like a professor somewhere.
Good on him.
Yeah.
I'm glad he was able to make a career out of being a Power Rangers sidekick.
Just should have played the weird comic relief, the punk comic relief. Why was the other guy called Bulk? That's rude. Anyway.
Because he was chub. He was a bit of a chub.
Yeah, but maybe you call him out on that. Maybe you call him something else. Maybe now he's defined by that. Maybe that's why he couldn't get out of. He was stuck hanging around with Skull. Is there ever an episode where Bulk and Skull got Power Ranger powers? That would be good.
They might get that at the end. Bulk might turn into the Green Ranger.
Yeah, I'm happy for that. That would be good.
And what about them like saying, getting that girl to be all upset because everyone's calling her ugly? She's like so hot.
The one that cuts her hair in like a transformative montage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked like Lacey Chabert, except clearly it's not because Gretchen Wieners is probably a bit too old to be in Power Rangers. I mean, which is fine, but yeah, I don't think that was Gretchen Wieners.
I don't think she's ugly.
You're
ugly.
Hollywood ugly though. It's always like
I don't know even if she's Hollywood ugly.
Stunning. I don't know.
Well, if she needs to feel better about herself, she can come to my house. I'll make her feel much better. She's not
That's
ugly.
gross.
It's not as gross as what I sent you in that message.
No,
what about Rita Repulsa? What about Rita Repulsa at the end there? I've killed other Rangers before.
Yeah, I think you're imposing. I don't think she was that. That kind of sounds like the old TV Rita Repulsa. I don't think she was that ridiculous.
No, she wasn't. That's how she'll sound in my head for the entire movie.
Everyone from now on is going to sound like Eddie Redmayne. I've killed other Rangers before.
I hate him. I hate his face.
All right, let's move on. Shall we move on?
Move on.
We'll do these two quite quickly because they're terrible looking. No, they're not actually.
What? No, they're not.
Yeah. John Wick Chapter 2. They're making more John Wick. Did I like John Wick? I guess I must have because I
didn't know if you saw John Wick.
Well, I saw the trailer and then I was like, yeah, this looks amazing. And then I watched it and I don't really remember what it was about, but I remember liking it. Or I must have liked it because I bear no ill will towards it now.
It was very good.
It was fun. It must have been fun.
It was very fun.
Yeah, and now they're making more of it. and Keanu Reeves still has the dog and a Mustang. So
Obviously, you didn't watch the first movie.
no, I did. I definitely watched the first movie.
Well,
I
then
know
you
what.
wouldn't say he still has the dog.
Oh, so it's a different dog. That's right. Maybe it's a prequel. No, because it's called Chapter 2.
No, it's the second one. He gets a new dog.
He must get a new dog. Okay. So he's still got a dog. So they're still going with the dog motif.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And he stays in that hotel and there's cars. Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
John
And the
Wick
guy,
2.
John
One
Wick.
was very, very good. So I'm very excited that we get another one.
I want to see it. It looks real fun. Looks like
Yeah.
more ridiculous club fight scenes and so forth.
Hopefully the dog gets some of his this time.
Yeah, maybe the dog is. Maybe it'll be like the end of Beethoven, where the dog just ends up hanging off someone's crotch.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. That was Beethoven's second.
Was it?
No,
No,
it was the first one. It was the first one, sorry.
And then the guy like collapses onto the table full of needles and gets all.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Very good movie. That's a good movie.
Hopefully, John Wick Chapter 2 will be at least as good as Beethoven. Probably better. Yeah. So I'm excited for John Wick Chapter 2. Right. Shall we move on to the next one? It looks good. Check it out. Shall we move on to the next one?
Yeah.
Okay. So the Great Wall, the movie, the historical fantasy movie that ignores Mongolia and puts Matt Damon in China, and yet nonetheless looks fantastic. Had another trailer, which gives you a little bit more detail on the plot, such as it is. But let's be honest, we're just watching ridiculous fight scenes between Matt Damon and some monsters on a wall. Prince Oberon from Game of Thrones is in it.
He's from Buffy too.
Oh, is he? Who is he in Buffy?
He's in one
Buffy?
episode when Buffy goes to college for the first time.
Okay.
It's in the first episode of that season.
Is he a sexy professor?
No, he gets killed off quite early.
Okay. He dies a lot. Well, he dies in 2 different TV shows. Yeah, this still looks really fun. It looks like what would you say this looks like? It's so colourful. This movie. It's searingly chromatic. It's just there's so much colour in comparison to Batman versus Batman: Dawn of Sadness or what have you that we've seen recently. It looks way more fun and way more colourful and kind of ridiculous because it's a bunch of white people on the Great Wall, but it looks like visually it's gonna, I think, be just an amazing film to see. Probably gonna suck. Still want to see it. What did you think of it?
Yeah, it looks so good. There's not that many white people in it. It's only like one white person, isn't there?
Well, there's 2. We just mentioned 2 of them. We mentioned Guy from Buffy and Matt Damon.
Oh, I suppose 2.
There's someone else as well.
But still, overall, it's a fairly Chinese cast. Or Asian cast. I don't want to all brand them as Chinese if they're not. Yeah, and I really like the look of this, and I've seen some headlines. I was one of those people who just read the headline and didn't bother reading the actual story about people thinking that this movie's whitewashed and all that. And it's like it's maybe in China, but it's not a historically accurate Chinese movie, so I don't understand it. I don't understand the whitewashing of this movie because it's a fantasy movie. There can be white guys in China as the 1998 Godzilla's attack the wall.
What? Where
was
the 1998 Godzilla?
They look like the at the end the babies that hatch that kind of look like raptors.
At the end of Godzilla.
Yeah, in the 98 one.
Yeah,
yeah.
They
kind of looks like the claws and stuff in this.
Who does? Matt Damon or what are you?
No, the monsters. The monsters look like it.
Okay.
That's what I've got from the first 2 trailers, that they kind of look like the Godzillas from '98 that Matthew Broderick famously put down. So I reckon Matt Damon's not going to have any problem with them whatsoever.
Yeah.
But yes, Great Wall. I want to see it. It looks really, really good.
Yes, it looks real fun. Okay. All right. Shall we move on? Is it time for PitchCon?
Yeah, you got time?
Yeah, do we? Do we have
Yeah.
time?
No, not really.
Okay. All right. Let's ignore that for this week until we need to redo it anyway. We need to add some options to that. So let's ignore that. No Pitchtron. I'm gonna shut it down. Let it rest. All right. So we talk about what we've watched. I can do this
Yeah.
very quickly. I've watched some more Luke Cage. I still like Luke Cage. Still like the music. Apart from that, I've watched The Divided Heaven, which is a East German film. I went to the Auckland Film Society this week. This week just gone. The screening was also the opening screening for the German Film Festival, sponsored by the Goethe Institute. And the film that kicked it off was The Divided Heaven, which is a film from the early-ish days of East Germany, set in 1961. So it's presumably filmed a few years later, I think about 63. So it's just as the wall is being built. And it's about two people that fall in love whose names I've forgotten, and are trying to survive in East Germany. She is going to teachers college, but is working at a train factory installing windows in passenger carriages. He's a chemist who is trying to get his new chemical process approved for a factory. Um, so there's a lot of angst regarding the state, a lot of political talk, the people who have been ground down by politics, by the party, and everything going on. And it's sort of an interesting take on. It's a lot subtler than I guess we're used to seeing in the Eastern Bloc, because people kind of just disappear. People simply defect and go to the West, and we're kind of just left with the fallout. It's not this dramatic thing. It's just, oh, he's gone to the West, and that's it. It's a very, very good looking film as well. There's some really striking visual stuff here. It's definitely worth seeing on that basis. You also see quite a bit of, it's 1964. I was wrong there when I said it was 1963. It's also quite a bit of footage of an old train factory, which you may or may not be interested in. There's some interesting historical context just in the background of the footage of what Berlin was probably actually like at this time, that we don't really see in something like Bridge of Spies, which, although good, was nighttime and dark and gloomy, and this isn't what this movie looks like. It's good. Having said that, I didn't quite understand it, because when it was first projected on the screen, it was kind of off a bit, and it cut off the bottom line of the subtitles. So the dialogue was pretty incomprehensible, and I didn't really know any of the characters' names for most of the movie. Having said that, I still enjoyed it as a piece of cinema. I think it's certainly worth checking out if you want to broaden your cinematic horizons. So that's The Divided Heaven, and that's pretty much what I've seen. I've had a very busy week at work, and I've just been reading more than watching stuff on Netflix. So, yes, what have you seen this week, Terry? Everything ever, by the look of it.
No.
Oh no,
Pretty
you
much,
have.
I'm still working my way through American Horror Story. I've discovered I do like the story that they are telling. I just don't like the way they're telling it.
Okay.
I still don't like them getting into the one-person interviews as the recreation thing. Just keep it like a regular storytelling way. But I do like the story that's being told. Kathy Bates is awesome. So yes, American Horror Story. I want to see more, but I want to see less of it. Well, less of the way they're making it. Westworld, episode 2 of Westworld came out this week. It's very good. I kind of liked it because the first one focused on one character, and now the second episode is focused on another character, more or less. But you still got the overall arc of what the hell Ed Harris is doing. So that's really, really fun. And the John Hammond kind of appeal that Anthony Hopkins has. I like that too. With all the clown phenomenon going on over here in Australia, has it reached New Zealand yet?
Probably. I haven't been paying attention because it
Uh,
seems stupid.
Yes, it is stupid. But apparently everyone is now taking up what the Americans started and just hanging around as clowns and scaring the crap out of people as scary clowns. And very close to my neighborhood, I've heard. I haven't seen any yet. But I came home and I want to watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space because it's the best Killer Clown movie out there. It's just so freaking good. Freaking years old. So you got to watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And it's October, so it's Halloween month. This is the only time I get into Halloween because of the scary movies I get to watch. Even though I watch them all year round anyway. Not sure how that difference then. I watched Saving Private Ryan for the first time. I may have watched it like when I was 13 when it came out or something, but I honestly do not remember any of it.
You would remember it, I think.
Well, I remembered bits, like just mainly. I remembered mainly the first bit, like the big war action scene. So I don't know if I've seen that along the way or something. But generally, I hadn't seen it. So I'm saying it's the first time watch because I don't remember it. It is so freaking good. I really loved it. I've got a review up on our blog on Tumblr. And yes, I actually wrote quite a bit about it, more than I thought I was going to. Because I just kept having thoughts going, oh yeah, and oh yeah. See Saving Private Ryan if you haven't. I'm probably the last person in the world who, besides my wife, who hadn't seen it. She still hasn't seen it. And I watched War of the Worlds, the 1953 film, mainly because I've got the poster hanging on my wall, and I really like the poster. So I thought I'd better watch the movie. It's so cool. I love the 50s horror type movies. War of the Worlds. It's great. That's a hell of a lot of fun there. The practical effects is so fun. That's probably the best part. Practical effects of the aliens walking around and their eyes and their fingers. It looks pretty cool. You should check out War of the Worlds 1953. It's definitely worth it.
I've seen it a while back.
Yeah? Did you like it?
Yeah, maybe. I don't remember.
Did you like Gene Barry better than Tom Cruise?
I like the Tom Cruise version.
Yeah, I like it too. That's another thing. I'm probably 2 or 3 movies away from that in my Spielberg reviewed series.
Yeah.
So I wanted to watch this one first.
Gene Barry?
Yeah. Gene Barry. I don't know why I'm saying his name in a weird voice. Gene Barry. So yes, that is what I watched. Yeah. So I suppose moving on to coming out this week. In Australia, coming out on the 20th of October, 2016. We have another Zach Galifianakis comedy that you can skip seeing. That's 2 in the cinemas by Zach that you don't have to see. It's called Keeping Up with the Joneses. Pretty much it's got Gal Gadot, Isla Fisher, Patton Oswalt, and Zach Galifianakis. They're neighbors. Gal Gadot and Patton Oswalt are spies, and the other 2 are not. And hilarity is supposed to ensue, but it doesn't. So do not see this. It looks terrible. We have Cafe Society. It's a Woody Allen movie. It's set in the 30s, and Steve Carell is in it, but I can't think if that's who I'm thinking of.
Okay, looking at this thing, it says Jesse Eisenberg, Kristen Stewart, Steve Carell, and Blake Lively.
Yeah. But I couldn't think of Steve Carell was who I was thinking it was. Is he Phil Stern?
Phil Stern?
In
what?
In this. Either I thought you were looking at it.
No, I'm looking at. I'm not looking at the IMDb. I'm looking at a different thing.
Oh, okay. Well, don't worry. Phil Stern, his nephew comes to town, which is Jesse Eisenberg, and he's like an agent to the stars in Hollywood, and he Jesse Eisenberg falls in love with his secretary, and then they kind of get swept up into the high society life, and it's very fun. It looks a very fun Woody Allen type-esque movie. It doesn't look funny, but it looks fun, I think. I'm interested to see this. It looks like a cool drama romance thing. Jack Reacher, never go back, but he's back because this is the second. If that makes sense, never go back. Tom Cruise went back. Yeah, Jack Reacher, never go back is back, and yeah, it's an action movie. You like action movies? You'll probably like this. It's Tom Cruise. It's Tom Cruise in an action movie. Who would have saw that coming? Yes, that's out. Ouija Origin of Evil is coming out for ready for Halloween. So this is the sequel slash it's a prequel really to Ouija. Most people who saw Ouija think Ouija was pretty crap, but the trailers for this look fantastic. They look really, really good. Very creepy, very scary. I don't know if I'm over the child possession thing, so that could get a little bit tiresome for plot-wise. But generally, it looks creepy, and all the visuals are pretty horrific. See Ouija, Origin of Evil. That's what I'm saying. And yes, there is Boys in the Trees. It's an Australian movie, and it's in Halloween. It's set in Halloween, and these guys were mates, and now they're not. One hangs with the cool kids and picks on them and bullies them, and the other one gets bullied. So there's these teen skaters, and they're bullying this boy. And either way, the two were estranged friends. They kind of walk home together and relive some good old memories. But something happens. There's dreams, there's fears, there's boys in trees. It looks really, really good. An Australian film. See it. And The Neon Demon. This is another like thriller horror movie based on like the modeling circle, people who model, and like with obsessed women doing stuff for youth and vitality and stealing all their youth. It looks really, really good. Elle Fanning's in it, and Christina Hendricks and Keanu Reeves. So if you want to get jacked up for John Wick 2, see The Neon Demon. Yeah, I like the look of that. So yeah, anything in New Zealand that's different, Tim?
Let's see. We don't have Neon Demon or
Boys.
no, but
You wouldn't have Boys in Trees.
We have Cafe Society, Jack Reacher, Keeping Up with the Joneses, Ouija, and Shin Godzilla is out on the 20th.
Ooh,
That's exciting.
that is exciting.
I'm going to see that. I am.
Ooh.
I'm going to see it so hard.
Well, I'm hoping I can get to it this on Monday or Tuesday. I was going to get to it tomorrow on Sunday, but now something else is happening. Yes. Oh, and I'm just going to put a plug out there to our friends over at Cinematic Randomness. Next Saturday, the 27th, we are having a Scream Along. I'm going to be joining the Scream Along pretty much at 10 p.m. Australian Daylight Eastern Savings Time. So Sydney time. We're going to be all watching Poltergeist in the comfort of our own homes and tweeting about it or Facebooking about it using the hashtag something or other. I think it was like Poltergeist Scream Along. No, that can't be right. Using some sort of hashtag. So if you go onto our Facebook site, I'll have it shared up there. So that sounds like a fun time to have. I think it's going to be a little bit late for Tim in New Zealand. It'll probably be a midnight start for him, but
yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. It sounds like fun.
Cool.
So yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Cool. So, if you want to read our main blog, it's at sfdfmoviereviews.tumblr.com. That's mirrored. No, it's not mirrored, is it? You can find us.
No, we don't do that.
We don't do that anymore. You can find us on facebook.com/SFDF Movie Reviews. We're on Twitter at SFDF Movie Review, singular. If you just want to listen to this podcast, we're at soundcloud.com/SFDF. If you want to, you can also find us on iTunes at just search SFDF in the iTunes search field, and you should find us. If you want to email us, you can find us at in space no one can eat ice cream at gmail.com. And if you want to find links to all these things, because I muddled through that explanation, they're all linked on the right side of the main blog, along with all manner of other good stuff at sfdfmoviereviews.tumblr.com. Okay, cool. That's about it from us. I'm going to go and make double sure that these bizarre noises in my house aren't anything to be worried about.
Ooh, maybe it's a ghost.
I
Oh,
think
maybe it's the cow.
maybe it's a cat. No, I don't live in cow territory anymore. I don't think there's any more cows just going to turn up in my front yard anymore.
Well, apparently one just started moving in my living room.
Oh wow! Well, you should go check that out. See if
It's along with the horse.
What is here? Why is your house full of livestock? What is happening?
There's a puzzle thing that my son has, and like when you put it's one of those peg puzzles, and when you put it into it, it'll make the noise. But it's kind of like it's light sensitive, so the puzzle pieces aren't in, but there's some sunlight coming over it. So
Okay.
it's going off.
See, you're saying this, but I'm pretty sure that you're smuggling livestock.
Yep.
Okay.
Just in my jumper, in my hoodie.
You're terrible at crime. You don't just go, oh, yep, I'm totally doing that. Jeez.
No, it got me.
Nothing from gangster movies? Jeez.
No.
Right.
Guy Ritchie should make a movie of my life and
called The Cows Come Home. Cows in your house.
I see you did get pitched wrong.
Yeah, Guy Ritchie makes a cow smuggling movie. It's like Bull Run, but not. I don't know. Yeah. Woo. All right. Well, okay.
I've heard that before.
Okay. Terry's going to go and sort out his livestock problem and probably think about what he's done. So we're gonna say goodbye, I think. So I guess it's goodbye from us. Say goodbye, Terry.
Goodbye, Terry.
Okay. Bye, everybody.